Hi guys, good morning. It's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 reasons why writing a book series will make you a more successful author. This is part 2 of 3. Okay, so if you missed part 1, I'm going to be talking about that. Let me turn my phone off. Oh, look, Kristen corrects us live now. There we go. Okay, so as people are kind of coming in, leave a comment, like this video, let me know that everything is good. And then that way I'll actually be able to see who is watching this video. Comment if you have any questions, comment, or just comment and let me know where you are watching this video. Just because I'm really curious where this is going, where people are watching this. I know I have clients all over the nation. A few clients elsewhere in English-speaking countries, Australia, England, South Africa, every once in a while. But I'm mostly in the United States, so I kind of want to see where my videos are going. Yeah, so comment if you're watching. I know a lot of people are going to be watching the replay later. So if you have any questions at any time during this video, feel free to leave a comment and I will come back and answer it later. Okay? All right. So let me get everything going. So today we are going to be talking about why writing a book series will make you a more successful self-published author, part 2. Okay, so the reason why this is important is because the self-publishing industry is so saturated, and not just the self-publishing industry, but the publishing industry in general is so saturated. There are I can't remember the exact numbers. I'll look it up later, but there are tons and tons of books published every day. I believe it's definitely in the thousands. So every single day. So if you are an author, especially a self-publishing author, you have to do something that will make you stand out. Okay, that makes sense. So, so how you do that, I'm proposing, at least, is that by having a book series, or at least having published multiple books, that is how you will stand apart in this industry. Okay, and I'm going to be talking about, I interviewed my client, Lou Paduano. Here's his book. This is the first book of his series. I have edited 4 of his books so far. Look, isn't that so pretty? They're so pretty. And so I've edited 4 of his books so far. Actually, number 5 is on my editing desk right now. So about 4.5 of his books so far. And I interviewed him because I was asking him, hey, what's the difference between when you published book number 1 and when you started publishing multiple books? How did your fan base and your following, was it impacted by that? And he said, absolutely. So that is why we're watching this whole, that's why we're doing this whole video series, this whole blog series. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about how to create one world and one set of characters in a series, and how that will cut back on the author's amount of time that they spend writing the books. I'm also going to be talking about why the first book in the series, it must hold water, okay? And the first book is the most important book. I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about how outlining all of your books before you start the series is a critical step, okay? It will really help if you outline your whole series and each of the books separately, because then you'll know exactly what to write. You'll know exactly what's next in the series, okay? All right, okay, so also special today, if you stay until the very end, I'm going to be doing a special offer. Ooh, so stay tuned to the end and I will present that offer. It's for anybody, new clients, old clients, whatever. Okay, so last week I talked about reason number 1, okay, which was readers get invested in a series and its characters and will keep purchasing the next book whenever it becomes available. Okay, that was reason number one. And oh, actually, so here, let me post this blog. So here's part one, which I was talking about last week. And last week we learned that when readers become invested in a series and its characters, they will keep buying the next books, okay? And that's important because then instead of just writing one book and hoping that people will pick it up and read it, you're continuing the story. And so by doing that, readers will see, oh, I want to hear from this character again. I want to read about this universe again, and then they'll buy the next book in the series. It works. It absolutely works. So that's important. So now we're moving on to part two, reason number two, which I will get to in just a second. So here is the link to part two, okay, which I just published today. So, all right, so before I get started, I'm going to get a drink of water, okay? Got myself, I'm just talking and talking and talking. Okay, so reason number two to write a book series. We're just going to jump right in. In writing a series, the author has less work cut out for him or her. Okay, so this comes with a caveat, okay? And so I'll explain that later. But essentially, you have less work because in books 2 and onward, you've already built the world. You've already built the main characters, okay? The universe is already crafted. The characters are already developed. And this is good for two reasons. This is good for readers and for authors, okay? It's good for readers because the readers, of course, love this. They love following characters. They love seeing what the characters are going to do next. They might love the universe, the world that this is created in. And so that's why book series are really major sellers in this industry, okay? So it's good for the author as well because with a world and characters that are already developed, it means that the author needs to spend less time on creating new material, okay? And so in interviewing my client, Lou, all right, he said, let me see, if they enjoyed the first book, they know what they are getting with the second and so on. For me, the benefit has been more on the writing side. I've lived with characters in the Greystone series for years now. Putting together a story for them is like breathing. I know the ins and outs of portions as if it was my own backyard. It's the home. It's home, and it shows in how much easier each book is and has been to put together. So that quote just summarized it, that it becomes easier for the author to write stories about characters that have already been developed, okay? So this comes with a caveat, okay? And that's what I was talking about. The overall concept of your book series, especially book 1, the most important, it must hold water. It must make sense, okay? So that often means going through many revisions of the book, okay? And that's, drafting and redrafting. So as I said, the first book in the series is critical. It always has to be, it has to hook the reader. It has to grab their attention. It has to hold water, like I said. And so this might mean more work up front for the author. When the series is first coming together, it's more work because you have to make sure that your book, not just book 1, but books 2, books 3, and books 4, and so on will always make sense. They'll flow together. They'll be engaging. I feel like I'm juggling books here, but okay. I wrote this down in my notes as a life tip. Okay, here's a life tip. Outline the series. Okay, so Lou, the author, said, setting the course to me as what is I'm considered a plotter in this industry. It's crucial to making it work as a series writer. Okay, so outline your books. That will really help. And especially, like I said, it's a little bit more work up front. Making sure that your whole concept is good and outlining your entire concept. But once you have that outline done and everything makes sense, then you're good. Okay, so after that, it's smooth sailing after that, essentially. Okay, wow, that was quick. That was quick. All right, so the special offer. All right, so I'm offering, as I was talking about, making sure that your book, whether it's a standalone book or a series, but especially if it's a series, it needs to hold water. It needs to have a good plot concept. It needs to have a hook right at the beginning. It needs to be engaging, right? So my special offer is a first 30 pages critique for $100. And that is your book's opening pages. That is so critical for the success of your book, right? You have to have that hook, that engagement. You have to have good pacing. You have to have everything, and it's very important to get it right, okay? So in this first 30 pages critique offer, I would be reading your story's first 30 pages, which is up to 7,500 words. And then I'll be looking at pacing, organization and plot, dialogue and setting, the narrative style and the tone, character development, overall story premise, a lot. And I would be highlighting any issues that I saw in your manuscript and commenting on them. As well, at the end, I would be doing a 2 to 3 paragraph summary of the major issues that I saw. Okay, so this is a really good option. That if you are brand new to the self-publishing industry, you've never worked with an editor before, you have no idea what to expect. You might not know which way is up in this industry, who can blame you? But working with an editor like me or any other experienced editor will help you hone your manuscript and really polish it and craft it into exactly what it needs to be for today's market. Okay. So this is actually cheaper than a first chapter critique, which is $150. This first 30 pages critique is $100. Instead of just doing your first chapter, I'm doing actually your first 30 pages. So you're getting more for less. Hey, right? Okay. And one final note, if you want deals like this, I actually send out deals like this once or twice a month in my newsletter, okay? So if you want deals like this, actually deals better than this, sign up for my newsletter. Go to my website, KristenCorrects.com. At the very bottom of the homepage, it'll have a sign up option. So, okay, all right, good. So it doesn't look like I have any questions. So if you have, if you're watching this on the replay, which most people will, leave a question or a comment or anything. And if you have any thoughts or anything, and I will get back to you. I'll just comment right back. Great. Okay, so please like, comment, and share this video. That's how I reach other people. If you know any authors, please tag them in this video, because writing a series is a really wonderful way to get your name out in the publishing industry, especially if you're a brand new author, and especially if you are self-publishing. Okay? All right, I think I believe that is it. Next week, I'm going to be talking about part 3, okay? Part 3 of this series. So let me go over everything really quick. So today we talked about how to create one world, how creating one world and one set of characters in a series will cut back on the author's amount of planning, okay, and world building. We talked about why the first book in your series must hold water, okay, my new favorite phrase apparently. And then also how outlining all your books before you start the series will really, I mean, it's a critical step, and it will really, really help cut down on the heartache and the headache later on, okay? All right, so that's it. I will see you guys next week. Go check out the blog. Part 2 is available now. And of course, leave a comment or a question if you have any comments or questions. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye.